Alright, folks, well, we are here. We are going to be doing postscript right now, which, from what I've seen, this is a really short one. I finally unlocked this, like, after I've skipped Tsubasa's story 2 and 6 right over here, Memoirs of the Lambda Delta and the Witch's Tanabata. I basically started them, like, closed my eyes, pressed like the skip button, and I finished them like in 1 minute or so. And now we're here, and with the completion of this postscript, whatever this is, we're gonna be unlocking some new stuff like after this, which I know that there are gonna be some really important stuff, but there's also a title that is quite interesting. I wonder why that specific title is after this, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the list that I have right over here is wrong. So let's see about the postscript. The glitchy doors, I swear. It's like it's getting worse and worse. Maybe it's intentional. Oh god, don't tell me that now we're going all like cybernetic. Please don't. Not here. There are many different fragments here. Okay. Is this gonna be a Ben Castell and fragments kind of story right over here?
猫箱は底なし。多分手を突っ込んでかき回せばまだまだいくらでも見つけられるんでしょうね。とりあえず今回集めてきたかけらはこんなところ。もしあなたがまだまだかけらを求めるならば、猫箱の中に飛び込んであなた自身がかけらを探してみたらいい。
Endless possibilities.
そのかけら探しに旅に出かける勇気を持てたなら、あなたも私たちの仲間。
Whoa, you mean going into fan fiction, like cat boxes created by other people? Fragments created by other people?
私の仲間たちはあなたのことを航海者の魔女と呼ぶでしょうね。
Bitch, I already was, like years ago.
陸の魔女は流れ着くかけらを待って浜辺に座していることしかできない。しかし私たちは違う。かけらの海へ、そして猫箱の中へ旅に出て、誰にも見つけられないかけらを手にし、それを自分だけのものにしてポケットにしまうの。かけらの海に漂うのはかけらばかりじゃない。義書作家たちによって生み出された義書のかけらもいくつも漂ってる。それらは時に滑稽だけれど、時に衝撃的、あるいは時に戦場的で、時に旋律さえ覚えさせる。
Grand? Sounds like my type of stories.
陸には決して流れ着かぬそんなかけらを集められるのも私たちの特権。それどころか船の上で私たちも新たな義書を記し、それを海に投じることもできる。運よく陸にたどり着いたなら、浜辺の魔女たちは私の義書を奪い合って読んでくれるのかしら。それを思うととても愉快。
I mean, I'm not seeing like anybody making like any fragments about Christmas. Guess I'll have to do it myself then, one day.
かけらあさりより義書作家の方が楽しい魔女もいるらしいしね。ベアトリーチェのゲーム版はすでに終わって閉じられているにもかかわらず、まだ観客席を立たない魔女たち。あなたたちは浜辺に流れ着くのを待つ陸の魔女？
Heck yeah.
それとも航海者の魔女なのかしら。もちろんどちらでも構わないけれど、もしあなたと再会できるなら、それはかけらの大海原の中がいいわね。じゃあね、今回の手土産はこれでおしまい。バイバイ、陸の魔女たち、そして海の魔女たち。近いうちにまたね。
Huh, okay. This surely was a postscript. They were not lying in the title. Okay. What an interesting song here. Okay. We unlocked some new elements. Let's see. Oh. Okay. It changed. Let's see. Ah, there you go. Okay. So yeah, now we finished Tsubasa. Now we shall move on to Hane. Ah, there you go. This is this is what I seen in the list that was really interesting. We have forgery. Okay, there's the forgery, which is probably going to be really interesting right over here, and some really important stuff is going to be unlocked like after this, more than likely. But for now though, we have this story right over here that says Jessica and the Killer Electric Fan. That's quite an interesting title there. It kind of reminds me of episode 7, right? It was when we were interrogating like everybody at the beginning as Will and Leon, and we were interrogating Jessica about some of the ghost stories that she was telling us, quote unquote ghost stories, like all the stuff that had been happening to her when it comes to that doll, for example, in the room. And I feel like the same case is probably gonna happen here. This is probably like a prank that Beatrice is doing on her. Saku asked Jessica to write a script for the school play. 1 day of planning, 1 day of writing, 1 day of editing. The result was a masterpiece. However, it seems that a certain witch has taken a liking to it. Saku. That sounds familiar. Wait, unless... Is that the girl that Jessica was having an issue with at the beginning? Like, they were having this conflict and then they patched it up with chocolates, I think, in one of the earlier stories. It was that girl with her own set of sprites, which surprised me. I didn't think that we would actually have like a set of sprites for that one girl with the long black hair. Was that Saku, from what I remember? I don't know. I finally finished it! The script for the play Saku asked me to write. 1 day of planning, 1 day of writing, 1 day for the final revisions, a total of 3 days and nights spent to produce this masterpiece. Yeah, there you go, there's a Saku. Hold on a second, isn't that like the name of this entire thing? Like Umineko Saku or something like that? Again, like all these names that people kept recommending me, like Tsubasa, Hane, Saku, now I'm confused once again. Umineko? No, I think I have it written like somewhere else. Not in my notes right over here. Whatever.
簡単だぜ。ハートから浮かんでくる詩を私は譜面に刻み込んでいくんだぜ。ってそれが何？それってつまり心の中から浮かんでくる物語を歌詞にしてるってことでしょ？そうとも言うな。つまり私はハートから湧き出す物語を歌に乗せてるってわけだぜ。そうそう。ジェシーの歌詞ってさ、物語あるよね。ジェシーってきっと物語とか書くの絶対うまいよ。そうかもな。私が物語を書いたらきっとすげえのが書けちゃうぜ。ってそれが何？
Honestly, I should have given it more thought before I promised anything. It turned out there was going to be a play at next month's culture festival. I had no idea that I ended up having to write a script with just a 3-day deadline. I just got caught up in the enthusiasm and atmosphere at the moment. I started thinking to myself, with my heart and good taste, maybe I can do it. Come to think of it, Mom warned me about this, didn't she? You and your father both have the bad habit of getting caught up in the mood of a situation and agreeing to things. You have to be careful. Yeah, I think I know what Nazi is trying to say here. It was described that crows can get into some stuff. I'm sorry, Mom. Anyway, this was the result of the 3 days and nights of hard labor I brought down on myself. I finished up the writing late at night and flopped into bed with a thud. So what do you think? I have slaved over it for 3 days. I worked that long without any sleep, so my mind is kind of fuzzy. Screw you, Saku. You're going to pay dearly for this. Grumble, grumble. This is my first time writing a script for a play. I'm sure there are some rough spots here and there. With all my ideas, humor, heart, love and passion, I mixed a bunch of things together, and the result is my big moving masterpiece script. Kinda reminds me of something, but I cannot say it publicly. It's something that it is something that I'm working on personally. I don't know. These days, I feel like I am the kind of person that doesn't really like talking about things that I'm working on until I'm 100% sure that I'm gonna be able to finish it and all that. Otherwise, I'm just saying things that, you know, I'm just gonna say, oh, I'm working on this. Can't wait for you guys to see it. But then you're never gonna see it. So, sometimes I keep my mouth shut about some stuff. And it's just a personal thing of mine that I'm trying to do. It's something that I have never ever done before, but I kind of want to do it. So yeah, I don't know, maybe it's with you guys as well. It's sort of the same feeling as when you don't want to promise anything until you're 100% sure. Sort of that feeling. It's starting to get thunderous applause at the culture festival. Who wrote this wonderful script? Jesse? Wow, that's amazing.
いやいや、それほどでもありますけれど。
She's fantasizing here about it.
どれどれ
Lambda?
そこまで言う脚本ならちょっと拝見。
Who? Nani? I was almost asleep by now, and turned absentmindedly toward the voice. It was a young girl I had never seen before, clad in a pink dress. Jessica and Lambda Delta. What an interesting combo. Why is Lambda Delta the one who is coming here? She was standing there, munching on popcorn, all the while reading the script I had just finished writing. When she finished reading it, she left in delight.
面白いわこれ。特にオチが最高だわ。そりゃどうも。
That's strange. I don't remember putting in a punchline that would make someone roar with laughter like that. It doesn't matter. I don't know who this girl is, but she did praise me. Doesn't really surprise you that you have like a random ass girl in your room just laughing at you like that? And you don't know them, I guess? That means the play will definitely become famous. It'll certainly be a huge hit, without a doubt.
へえ、あんたこの脚本が絶対に受けるって自信あるのね。
I guess that's why Lambda Delta has been summoned right over here. Because Jessica is being all, I know for certain that my masterpiece is gonna be a hit, you know. And that's why she is here. What are you doing, Lambda Delta? Are you gonna question like Jessica's masterpiece? Is that why you're here?
なきゃ引き受けねえぜ。絶対。
絶対
絶対。
いいわ。必ず受けるって絶対の自信を持って書き上げたこの脚本に、この絶対の魔女ラムダデルタちゃん様が絶対の魔力を授けてあげるわ。
Okay.
何それ。うさんくせえ。
ちょっとうさんくさいとか失礼しちゃうわ。この脚本にかける魔法はすごいのよ。なんとね、この脚本が実際に。
The childish girl in pink was boasting about something, but my consciousness was fading in and out, and I couldn't understand anything. In the end, it left me completely, and my soul began... In the end, it left me completely, and my soul began to sink into my fluffy feather futon and memory foam pillow. As soon as I woke up, I dashed over to the guest house as fast as I could, barely able to control my impatience. Bella was visiting the mansion for the first time in forever, and wanted to have him read the work I had certain competence in. For the first time in forever, okay. Shannon happened to be there as well, so I took the opportunity to capture her and made both of them read it. Oh, Balor and Shannon? Imagine if Jessica decided to write like a murder mystery instead. And made Balor and Shannon read it as well. Like, out of the blue, Balor and Shannon find out that Jessica wrote a murder mystery, and they are the first one to read it. Ooh.
お嬢様はすごいです。何でもできるんですね。
Like, for those of you who have read Umineko, you you can probably imagine why I'm like what I'm alluding to.
いや初めてな上にたった3日しか時間がなかったからものすごい大苦戦だったぜ。へへ。
という割には自信たっぷりの大傑作だってわけだ。
ではこの脚本を私たちは読んで感想を申し上げればよいのですか？
ただ読むのも味気ねえな。
Actually, hold on. Like, what is this exactly? Is it something related to music?
いっそさ、実際に脚本を演じてみるってのはどうだ？
I guess it's a theater show, like a musical theater show.
私お芝居なんてしたことないですし。
確かにそれは明暗だぜ。実際にバトラたちに演じてもらってそれを見ながら最終チェックをするのもありだぜ。
そうとなりゃ決まりだ決まりだ。やろうぜシャノンちゃん。それとも俺のお相手はお嫌かな？
そんなことはありません。謹んでお引き受けさせていただきます。
So, it was sudden, but the first performance of my script was decided on. With a red pen in one hand, I put on airs of being a scriptwriter.
お王子様が登場するのかよ。
Never mind. I guess I feel like my thoughts, the feelings that I had before, they are coming true, but not in a murder mystery kind of way, but in the prince and princess kind of way. Awkward.
じゃあ俺王子様な。
では私はナレーター兼お姫様の役を担当させていただきますね。
んじゃあ早速最初はシャノンちゃんのナレーションからスタートだな。
では始めさせていただきます。
With that, Shannon walked forward and began to read the narration that marked the beginning of the story.
ここはおとぎ話の世界の奥深く六権王国と呼ばれる国がありました。
で、
六権王国って安直なネーミングだな。
バトラうるさい。本番中。
六権王国の山奥にはお姫様が捕らえられているそれは大きな塔がありました。
Rumble, rumble.
なんだ
これは
As Shana began to read the narration, the scenery around them started to slowly warp, making a sound similar to that of an earthquake. The scenery outside completely changed to that of a mountain range, and from among the mountains, accompanied by a loud rumble, impossible! A tower was emerging. Yes, a tower. Not a bamboo shoot, a real, actual tower. It was just like something you'd see in a fairy tale illustration, made of stone and giving an impression of dignified strength. In other words, it was a tower. A tower in the mountains.
これって今のナレーション通りになったってことか？
お嬢様、これは一体。
そういえばゆうべおかしな夢を見た気が。私の脚本に魔法をかけるとかなんとか。いや、そんなバカな。
へへ、面白えぜ。いいじゃねえか、臨場感満点でよ。続けてみようぜ。
お嬢様、続けてよろしいですか？
こうなりゃやけだぜ。女は同郷だ。頼むぜシャノン、続けてくれ。
はい。塔はうっそうとしたジャングルに囲まれていました。
お、今度はジャングルが生えてきた。すげえすげえ。次はなんだ？
王子一行はそこに住む魔物の群れに襲われました。
Alright.
魔物の なんだって？
Rumble, 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 rumble. The low rumbling of the ground was gradually growing both louder and closer. The jungle shook, and colorful birds cried as they took flight in every direction.
いや、あははは。
Okay. It is at this point that I'm questioning, where is this electric fan gonna come in? Like, how is that gonna work?
いきなりクライマックスだと面白いかなって思って。
その魔物たちを俺がバッサバッサと退治するんだろ。
No, you are gonna struggle.
そうなんだろう。
脚本には魔物たちに襲われてひどい目に遭わされるって書いてあります。
何？
ほら、そこで王子が勝っちゃったら予想通りの展開でつまんないじゃん。
そのひどい目に遭うのは王子役の俺だ。
Goddamn twists.
っていうか、ひどい目って何？具体的に書いてない。
Well, you're gonna have better like, sorry, you're gonna have the prince killed and then, I don't know, just travel to another dimension, like climb the purgatory and then come back to save the princess with renewed strength and, you know, character development. Well, what was it called? Like the hero's journey? There you go. Like one of the most ancient versions of hero's journey. Like literally going through a different world while they were arguing. The rumbling continued to grow closer. Rumble, 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 rumble. Good performance, Batter. Good performance. Keep at it. A large herd of goats was plowing through the jungle, straight towards us. I say goats, but they weren't running on 4 legs. They were each wearing something like a black tailcoat and running on 2 legs like a person. Every single one of them was excessively muscular and gave off the horrible stench of male sweat. Ew. But even more frightening than that were their flaming red eyes and measly drooling mouths. Messily.
ひどい目以前に踏み潰される。ジェシカも急げ。
わかってるって。
Wait, why is Jessica involved in this? The well. My foot snagged on the root of a suspicious-looking tropical plant. I didn't even have time to scream before I toppled to the ground. The huge herd of goats swarmed toward me. They were on the verge of swallowing me up. God damn it. Like, where's the certainty in Jessica's death in all this, Lambda Delta? Where was this written in the script? I guess it's one of those days where Lambda decided to screw around. It wasn't necessarily something out of Lambda Delta's heart to actually fulfill this like with 100% certainty to make Jessica happy. She wanted to screw with Jessica as well, like beforehand, like before the happy ending. If there's gonna be like a happy ending, even if there weren't a whole herd of them, a single one of those huge bodies would probably be enough to crush me as flat as a pancake. Unless this is one of those challenges that Lambda decided on Jessica, like, hey, how about I test your certainty? Let's see how certain your masterpiece, like how certain you are gonna be about your masterpiece. Like if you're gonna have the heart to go through with it. Actually, you know what? Maybe it's like one of those situations where, you know, a writer is writing this story, okay? And it is complete for the most part. And they're like, aha, look at this, I'm feeling confident in it. But then they start reading like the story from beginning to end once more. And they are gonna have some doubts, maybe. So maybe this is in the same way similar to what the Lambda Delta is trying to do with Jessica. Like Jessica is gonna go through this, she's gonna have her doubts about this, and Lambda Delta is basically testing her certainty, her confidence. Maybe that's what this story is gonna be about. Let's see. I've never heard of a scriptwriter being killed by their own script before. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah! Eh? Suddenly, a miracle occurred. For some reason, the goat's hole simultaneously burst open and transformed into an infinite number of soap bubbles. Like, it's sort of similar to how, like, you know the saying, you yourself are the harshest critic. You would feel more critical about your work than anybody else. Maybe that's what this is gonna be about. I was left standing in a fantastical storm of soap bubbles. With a pop, 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 I was soon covered in a soapy film. The hell?
お嬢様、お怪我はございませんか？
こんなの脚本には書いてねえのに。
ですから修正をさせていただきました。
In Shannon's hand, there was a red pen and the script that I dropped when I fell down. Basically, in a moment of quick witness, she had amended the script so that the goats turned into soap bubbles and disappeared. Alright, well that's lovely.
ナイスシャノンちゃん。
お役に立てて光栄です。
しかしこりゃ参ったな。ここゲストハウスのはずだろ。でも完璧にどこかのジャングルだぜ。熱帯雨林だぜ。ファンタジーだぜ。私たち脚本の世界に引きずり込まれてるぜ。
ベアトリーチェ様の魔法でしょうか。
I mean, this is lovely.
あの夢じゃなかったのかな。あのピンクの変な魔女が私の脚本におかしな魔法をかけやがったんだ。
ジェシカ、参考までに聞くが、この話、続きはどうなってるんだ？
その波乱万丈の冒険物語にいろいろとそのリンゴと蜂蜜を混ぜてグツグツグツ。でか私この3日間ほとんど寝ないで書いたんだぜ。頭朦朧としてそれでも締め切り間に合わせて。だからその
I think I can understand that feeling.
つまりお嬢様もよくあらすじを覚えていないということなんですね。
There's a lot of moments in my life where I go through something, like either I work on something or I attend an event of some sorts, and afterwards I'm like I look back and I'm like, the fuck just happened?
ごめん。
If we turn the pages of the script, its story would progress. Anyway, we discussed various ways of escaping from this jungle. No, from the story, and tried them out. First, we tried physically destroying the script. It seemed that it was protected by magic or something, and no matter how much we stomped on it or kicked it, we couldn't even put a crease in it. Next, we tried writing the end at the bottom of the current page. At that point, the letters disappeared by themselves, and a different message in red ink rose into view. Unless it is performed to completion, the story will certainly not end. Alright. We tried experimenting in a variety of ways, but it was all useless. Escaping this place by ignoring the rest of the story was impossible.
当たり前でしょ。私が絶対の魔法をかけた絶対の脚本なのよ。途中でおしまいなんて絶対にできないんだから。
あんたは私の夢の中に出てきた魔女。
私の魔法お気に召してる？あいた！殴ったわね、バトラー。この絶対の魔女ラムダデルタちゃん様を殴ったわね。
お前のせいだと分かれば話は早え。とっととこのおかしな世界を終わらせやがれ。
それはできないわ。だって私はもはや傍観者。こ
の物語の紡ぎ手はジェシカだもの。だから私にさえこの物語は終わらせられないわ。
Okay.
そんな無責任な。
その無責任な脚本を書いたのは誰だ。
とにかく最後までお芝居を続けるしかないということですね。そういうことよ。じゃあ頑張って。私はポップコーン買ってくるわ。
Yeah, you do that. Grab some poppycorns. Lambda Delta disappeared. We had a pretty good idea of the situation now. No way out. No choice but to go forward. Man, I have been eating some popcorn lately. Like, it is fall and it's fine. Like, it's like the second that 1st of September hit, it finally got colder outside. It's no longer like 35, like 40 degrees Celsius and all that. It's definitely a temperature where I can finally record without getting myself tired and all that, which is good. And you know, during summer you're not really in the mood for popcorn. So these days, since it's a lot cooler outside, I was able to make some popcorn. But yeah, it kind of makes you think back on the title of the story, The Electric Fan. Maybe, actually I don't even know when this story takes place. Maybe it's during summer. Maybe, actually, maybe it has something to do with the summer festival. But either way, I don't know. Maybe Jessica was writing this stuff for like days and such, and it was getting so hot. It's summer. It's really, really hot outside. She was writing with like the electric fan on her desk, and at some point she decided to write like a gigantic monster electric fan into the story. Like, I'm curious.
でも武器はありますね。
Like, she didn't even think about it. She just included it inside and then boom.
ジェシカのその赤ペンだけが頼りだな。
The story was developed as written in the script. However, it seemed that by amending it right away with the red pen, we could alter the story one page at a time. We had no choice but to continue otherwise. I mean, if Shannon was able to make that change at least with the bubbles, we could just make some changes here and there to make it easier. Even though we were afraid of what awaited us. At any rate, I had written it while half asleep, letting my pen be guided by my heart. Even I couldn't fully remember how the story would develop.
やってやろうぜ。きっと私のことだから最後はハッピーエンドに違いないぜ。
書いた本人が記憶にないってのが不安だがな。
頑張りましょう。
She's just like me for real.
よし、シャノンちゃん、続きのナレーションを頼むぜ。
Shannon prepared herself for the worst and turned the next page.
木々が茂るジャングルを抜けると、そこは雪国のような場所でした。
Christmas episode! The jungle vanished without a trace, and found ourselves surrounded by a vast snowfield. Hey, this doesn't look like snowfield. Looks like a piece of giant rock, like in space. It was pristine, without a single footprint. We'd see glaciers in the distance, and an aurora glittered in the sky. It was a wondrous scene. Is that really an aurora, or is that an aurora? Like in the distance. Oh, hey there, Federin.
こりゃすげえ景色だな。
雪国どころか南極って感じですね。
温度まで再現しなくていいってのに。寒い。俺は王子様だぞ。誰か暖かい上着を持ってきてたもれ。くそ、この先の脚本はどうなってるんだ。
それが凍えて死にかかった王子に雪男が襲いかかってきてひどい目にと。
またか。
Okay.
ジェシカ、お前は王子に何か恨みでもあるのか。
いや、サクにひどい仕事を押し付けられて、くそー、この野郎って思って、どうもサクが王子役らしいって聞いて、
Ah, that's why. Oh, Jesus.
うぎゃー、雪男だー。
Boom, boom! With a crash, the 80 swung an enormous club the size of a log. Ah! Be careful! Wait, there's no time to stand around looking surprised. Gotta revise the script.
雪男は突然改心して王子たちと友達になる。
よかった
The fuck?
危なかったですね。
今度はこいつ慣れ慣れしくしすぎだぜ。
I hope it doesn't hug you like too much. To the point of killing you with hugs.
髪型乱れるからそれ以上なでるな。バナナ
Banana?
いらねえよ。つうかそれどこから出したんだよ。
Ow. He thinks that you are their baby.
お嬢様、さらに書き足して雪男さんに道案内をしてもらいましょう。
そうだな。早くここからおさらばしねえと、私たちは3人かき氷になっちまうぜ。
Right? And so, the prince and his men, having befriended the Yeti, were guided safely out of the snowy countryside. The next rough spot was a volcanic region covered with boiling magma.
どういうシナリオだよ。
Kind of a hellish scenario. Oh, come on. You are very familiar with this battle by this point. You should know.
これどうやって文化祭で上演するんだよ。
そんなの知らねえぜ。演劇部の大道具担当に聞いてくれ。
そして火山地帯では巨大な翼を持つ竜が火を吹きながら襲ってきました。
Oh, hey, look. It's Kinzo again.
うぎゃー。
He's making a cameo.
そして呪われた墓地では無数のゾンビたちが襲ってきました。
今日は
地獄の砂漠では巨大な毒サソリがその尻尾を振り上げ、
ドヒェー。
Whee!
悪魔の沼では吸血ヒルたちの群れが次々に現れ、
Oh, fuck. Higurashi.
もういい加減にしろ。
お嬢様早く。
There's a swarm of Higurashis. They're gonna attack us.
だけれども王子たちは魔法のバリアで守られ無事なのでした。
またしても危機一髪。もうヘトヘトだぜ。
The prince and his men had suffered many hardships and were now wiped out. And now the stage had returned once again to the jungle, when they managed to push their way through the dense thickets of tropical plants.
塔だ。ついにお姫様の塔にたどり着いたぞ。
やっと私がお姫様役をできるんですね。
Okay, I was gonna say, like, now that I mention it, the princess was supposed to be in the tower. In that case, why was Shana with us like all the damn time? Unless there is a different princess inside. It is gonna be revealed that the princess was Ariakey all along! Ooh-ha-ha-ha-ha.
それより確か最強最悪の大魔法使いが現れて最後の強敵として立ちふさがるはず。
At the summit of the tower, there was a human figure. He was wearing a large jet black cloak, and his silhouette had an imposing presence. Oh fuck! It's is that evil Balor that we've seen before, isn't it? This was surely the one who had kidnapped the princess and locked her in a tower. And the strongest and most terrible sorcerer.
やれジェシカ。
もう慣れてるぜ。
Unless maybe it's gonna be George, in which case we would have like that kind of rivalry. Saucy.
大魔法使いはひらりと飛び降り。
As Jessica spoke, the sorcerer jumped off the tower, headed towards the prince and his men.
そしてそのまま地面に激突して死亡。
And just like written, he crashed into the ground for no reason and died. Okay.
うわ笑える
Okay. The Delta had appeared when we weren't looking. I was clutching her stomach and laughing uproariously.
さあこれでこの珍道中もおしまいね。いよいよ感動のフィナーレ。
言われなくてもそうするぜ。シャノンちゃんはお姫様役。ナレーションはジェシカが頼むぜ。
バトラさん。
今は王子様だぜ。
本当はチューをする予定でしたが、不健全なのでカットになり、2人は幸せに暮らしましたとさ。めでたしめでたし。
何よ。バトラとシャノンのキスシーン見たかったのに。
Yeah, man. I wanted to see some spice.
まあいいわ。オチが面白いのはこれからだし。
オチ？オチなんかねえぜ。
And that was the punchline that Lambda Delta was referencing like last night. The fuck is she talking about?
これでもう物語はおしまいだぜ。
It was true. Jessica's script had ended there. There was no punchline intended. The prince rescued the princess. Happy end. As far as I remember it, anyway. And yet, Lambda Delta licked her lips and gave them a cold smirk.
これで終わりだろ。アムダデルタ。俺たちを解放しろ。
私もね、そうしてあげたいのよ。でもね、まだオチが待ってるのよね。
オチだと。
そうよ。オチ。
Punch? Is somebody gonna smack Balor in the face? Is that how it's gonna end?
それが気に入ったからこそ、この脚本に魔法を与えたんだから。ねえ、ベル、見てる？面白くなるのはここからよ。
Bel Costello's figure appeared, floating in the air, still in the middle of a yawn.
見てたわよ。この退屈なお芝居を。で、私を面白がらせるラストは本当にあるんでしょうね。
もちろんよ。私が保証するわ。
このベルンカステルの。
Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me look at the list of stuff that I have written over here. Because, again, as I said before, I was a little bit... It was a little bit interesting to see this kind of title right over here. Like, Jessica and the Killer Fan and all that. And then some really important stuff is gonna happen, like, after this, no doubt. We're gonna be unlocking some stuff. Is this gonna be the lead up to it? Like we start Hane, this section of Umineko. And it's gonna be like another row of quirky little side stories that we can laugh at and have fun with. But then, uh-oh! Lambda Delta and Bel Costello are up to something no good once again! And we're gonna be starting some weird stuff now at the end right over here. Whew. Like, fun time is over. They are back in business and are ready to fuck some stuff. They are ready to be the villains and the heroes of this.
眠気を覚ます程度には刺激的なんでしょうね。
もちろんよ、ベルン。刺激的なクライマックスが今から始まるわ。
おうおう、お話中すまねえけどよ。私の脚本はこれで本当におしまいだぜ。 クライマックスなんてどこにも書いてねえぜ。ほら。
With an evil look in their eyes, the witches of certainty and miracles convulsed with laughter. At that moment, the earth shuddered and cracked open. What the? An earthquake! Rumble, 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 rumble. The tower collapsed, leaving in its place a gaping, crater-like hole. Where did that hole come from? When we looked into its depths, all of us were struck speechless. Ah! A vast, howling whirlwind! The electric fan! Coming from an electric fan?
なんだこりゃー。
なんだこりゃ。
穴の底に巨大な扇風機がぐるぐる回ってるぞ。
The enormous fan was rotating at an incredible speed, and every time a crag crumbled away in the depths of this hole, he was smashed up and reduced to tiny pieces by the blades. It was a huge, enormous, killer electric fan. Cracks continued to open up in the earth, and everything began to collapse into the ever-widening hole, as if they were all being devoured by the fan. We didn't get out of there fast. We'd end up falling into that hole too.
ここも崩れるぞ。ジェシカ、シャロンちゃん、走れ早く。
バトラ様、危ない。
うわー。
No, no, Valor, no, no Chirus, no Chirus. The earth opened wider, and Valor was swallowed up. Shana just barely managed to grab hold of his arm, but she too was dragged into the hole, leaving her dangling by one arm from the edge.
バトラー、シャノー。
その手を離して上に上がれシャロンちゃん。
できません。そんなことしたらバトラさんが。
One of Valor's shoes slipped off and tumbled into the abyss. He was sucked into the fan, torn to pieces, and scattered.
俺の手を離せ。このままじゃ二人とも死んじまうぞ。
その命令には従えません。
シャノー、しっかり。今引き上げるから。
Another huge fissure appeared in the earth, and Jessica found herself separated from the others. The other two were in trouble, but she couldn't even go and help them.
バトラー、シャノー。しょー。
Looking down on Jessica, who was crying out in despair, Castello sneered.
なかなか悪くないクライマックスだわ。バトラとシャノンがひき肉になるところを見せつけてからジェシカも同じ末路をたどるのね。
Never!
悪くないわ。素敵なオチよ。
でしょ愛してるわベル。あなたの好む物語なんてお見通しなんだから。
ふざけんなお前ら。
Yeah, screw you, Ben Costello and Lambda Delta. This story will have a happy ending! As well.
私の脚本をよくもこんなひどいものに。
ひどいも何もあなたの書いた脚本じゃない。
私はこんなひどいことは書いてない。
今まで散々書いてあったじゃない。
It was true. Everything before now had been her work, which is why Jessica revised it. But she hadn't written anything at all about this killer electric fan to begin with. Jessica tried over and over to write about Balor and Shannon being saved, but the letters just vanished, as if they had just been written on a sandy beach and then washed away by the waves.
なんでだよ。どうして修正できないんだ。ちくしょー。
Shannon's grip on Balor was growing weaker by the moment. The electric fan stopped. It's not the red text. It's more pinkish. doesn't work. Ah, it's... I guess so, it's the red pen. I guess to distinguish it from the actual red text. The two were miraculously saved. This still doesn't work! The story ended, and we were saved. Why is nothing working? Unplug the electric fan.
なんでだ、なんで今までは書き込めたのに今度だけは文字が書けないんだ。
だって物語はもう終わってるんでしょ。修正は物語の中にするものよ。
物語の外を修正なんてできない。
Well, that means that it wasn't even written by Jessica in the first place. It was you, motherfuckers.
くそ、誰がこの最悪なオチがお前らの物語のクライマックスだって言うのかよ。魔女だ豆、よくも私の脚本をめちゃくちゃにしてみんなをこんな目に。
そのめちゃめちゃな脚本を書いたのはすべてあんたよ。
この凄惨なバッドエンドも含めてね。
Well, no, because if it was written by her, then technically it would be still inside the story, right? She would be able to revise it.
私は書いてない。こんな殺人扇風機にみんなが飲み込まれて死んでしまうなんて。
あらそう。
私たちはあんたが赤恥をかかなくて済むようにこうして教えてあげてるというのにね。
この子パーっぽいものきっと分かってないわ。
そのようね。
バトラさんごめんなさい。もう腕が。
いいんだ、早くその手を離せ。離したらシャノンちゃんだけでも這い上がるんだぞ。
私だけ生き残ったりしません。死ぬなら私も一緒です。
Oh god. Don't make this into another recordando moment right over here. Except, instead of a bottom of the ocean, we have the electric fan. That is gonna make you mince meat.
バカを言うな、生き残れ。
あなたは王子様で私を助けに来たんでしょ。もう私を一人ぼっちにしないで。
One by one, Shana's fingers, clutching the face of the cliff, began to lose their grip. No! None of it was any good. Shana and Ballard tumbled down to hell. In the moment of free fall before they were sucked into the killer electric fan, they hugged each other tightly. So that at the very least, they would be able to meet their ends together. The two stilled themselves, shutting their eyes tightly. Yeah? They weren't in hell, nor were they in the middle of the killer electric fan's blades. They were on a bed in the guest house. For a moment, they sat there holding each other tightly in amazement.
夢だったのでしょうか。
いや、夢だったわけもね。
Their bodies were still covered with scratches from the cliff face they had been scraped against just a few moments earlier. That great adventure in which they'd risked their lives really had happened. The fact that they returned to their own world meant that the story had safely reached its end. It was clear that Jessica had managed to revise the story at the very end, but Jessica herself was nowhere to be seen. Yeah, what happened? What did she do? In the meantime, Jessica was in front of the writing desk in her own room. Lying on the desk were the script and the red pen. Jessica had collapsed on top of them. Damtadel and Bercastel were standing on opposite sides of her. At the very last moment, she had managed to revise one single line. Because of that, the story had ended, and Bella and Shannon had been saved. But how? Jessica hadn't written anything about that huge electric fan in the first place. No matter how many times she tried to revise it, the change hadn't been accepted because the story was already over. However, Jessica had certainly made a revision. She had changed a single letter. In other words,
よかったわね。赤っ端を書かなくて。
はい。どうもありがとうございます。
Jessica, who was still slumped over the desk, timidly raised her head. Her face was bright red with embarrassment.
パーの私が言うのもなんだけど、かっこつけて英語使うときはちゃんとスペルを見た方がいいわよ。
What? So that's why all this stuff happened? Because of one word? Like, that was not written correctly? Killer electric fan. Killer electric fan. And it says it's in English too, so I guess maybe it's not the... Or maybe it is something Japanese, like it's one of those situations where it's lost in translation. Let's see.
ちなみに、ワンはフランス語よ。
はい。なんか変だなぁとは思ってました。
Oh my god. She wrote fan instead of fin. Oh, okay.
眠くて書き間違えたのよね。
いや、その、あ
She thought it would be cool to write fin at the end of the story, but she was far too embarrassed to ever tell anyone, and she ended up writing fan by mistake. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
眠くて書き間違えたのよね。
もちろんっすよ。